Dude, what did I just come back to? What a fucking weirdo. All right. Yo, what's up? Hey. You told him he was going to get boiled? Oh, dude. Beast. Beast mode. What's up, homie? How's the pups? They're doing better. They're good. Thank you. Oh, of course. My mouse ran out of charge. Should be easy to fix. Dude, I got a new cam link. I'm hoping it's super cope, but I'm hoping that it will make my camera stop freezing. But I don't think that's what's happening at all. Max, did you go to Blizzard for that stuff, or was that only classic people? Yeah, I could double check if I got invited, because it's always possible that I get emailed about things and never see them. Let's see, Blizzard. BlizzCon. Oh, I got invited to BlizzCon. That's fun. Wait, that's the same thing? No, I did not get invited. That confirms you're not a classic, Andy. I think we could have guessed that, being that I have never played that game. God, I wish I found that game fun. 1 second. If only, man. Fucking Infinite Money Simulator. All right. What if they made classic plus good unlike normal classic? I mean, they can't go too far, you know? They can't, like, go too far. Or else it's, like, alienating the core classic. It's such a fine line to walk, you know? I hope my camera's working, bro. That would be fucking amazing. What do you guys think? You think it just fucking works or what? Oh yeah, look at that. That's probably what the summit was about. Um, yeah, maybe to play test it and give feedback. I kind of doubt that actually because I've done a lot of not many with Blizzard, but I've done some with some other companies where you're play testing like a upcoming thing, and it's until it's announced, it's kind of explicitly like do not post about being here. Like that's 99% of the time, every time that's what it is when you're like play testing a new game, right? And the only reason to really fly them there is to have a controlled environment where they do play test, but allowing them to post about it makes me think that that's actually not what it's about. I'm actually pretty certain that if that's what it was, have they talked about it? You know what I'm saying? Bro needs a haircut. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't believe it was a play test. I'm pretty sure it was just brainstorming what players would want. Yeah, see, that makes a lot more sense to me. Yeah, dude, honestly, I don't know what the fuck they do with Classic Plus. If I'm Blizzard, I'm also thinking, what the fuck do you do? Because, like, really, like, if you boil down Classic Plus in enough iterations, it just becomes retail because, like, that's literally what happened, right? Um, and I think just walking a fine line between let's make some cool new shit in the classic universe, but as soon as you're like still just using classic class design and stuff, it's not gonna you can't really go that far if you make really hard raid fights, and that's like not kind of what the classic community even really likes. So it's like I don't know. I mean, I guess I did the Season of Discovery thing, and that was like really well received initially, and then it like kind of got old over time, I think. But SFan said they just spoke about ideas. They didn't test anything. Oh, so I mean that like further confirms that because like if they're allowed to even say what they were doing, I promise you they were not playtesting anything. So that makes sense. I'm honestly even really surprised they're even allowed. Like they're not NDA'd to fucking crazy shit. Like the fact that they're even allowed to post pictures is like very different from like any kind of thing I've done like that. Like I'm pretty sure if I did some I've done some things like that for other companies, and I'm pretty sure they would have killed me in real life if I were to have even posted a picture that I was at their campus. Um Sod was retail glued on top of classic. It was mainly only liked by retail players. So yeah, I mean I thought a lot of classic creators kind of like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know enough time has passed to where maybe enough of the no changes people are kind of have kind of gotten over all that, but kind of doubt they would. Most people did not like Sod. I think eventually, yeah, but I remember when it first came out, I think it was like pretty universally liked as like a swing by everyone. It just seemed like it died like after the first phase, you know. Also, a lot of the classic content creators play some parts of retail. The average classic player hates anything that isn't classic. Yeah, I kind of get that. OSRS started very faithfully and slowly veered into more hardcore. Oh, dude, speaking of RuneScape, I was asked recently if I would be interested in like doing RuneScape on stream. I'm pretty sure it was a sponsored thing. I don't remember any of the other inquiries, but basically, basically what it is I think basically they like RuneScape or someone else reached out to me to play RuneScape, and someone was gauging my interest as to whether I would want to do that on stream. And I've never played it ever. I've never played any iteration of RuneScape one time. Uh, so basically, what I'm asking is, would you guys find that interesting? Like, are you guys RuneScape heads? Would you find me playing RuneScape fun? Because like I know a lot of creators played RuneScape, like WoW creators, but they were different WoW. They were like classic WoW creators, and I think like classic nostalgia and RuneScape nostalgia, there's like a common theme there. But I'm like a retail guy, right? I don't know how many retail players like give a shit about RuneScape. So I don't know. I might. I mean, if it's a ton of money, to be honest with you, I'll probably just do it anyway. But I mean, RuneScape Leagues is actually a ton of fun. Yeah, maybe. Yo, is the MDI still going on? Was that a thing this weekend? Dude, shout out the other day when I had a Google tab of me searching if Mr. Mosby from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody actually killed someone. Wait, it's happening right now. I saw the first thing, and it looked like it was gonna be this team. So new mandatory, just kind of. It looks like there's like 4 or 5 like should be really good teams, or I think it's 4. So it's like old MDI format. Yeah, old MDI format is good. I'm a fan. I don't know whether I necessarily. I think there's like pros and cons to both, honestly. Like for example, like the best TGP style finals and the best like MDI finals have been like equal levels of hype, but they both have different downsides. Like a lot of TGP are just like sitting around and just fucking nothing's going on, you know, for like the first couple hours until it gets kind of interesting. And it kind of depends on what teams are there. That's true in both. But then like MDI, bro, like MDI format, the like lower bracket day 2 on Saturday is usually just you're just watching teams in the cups, not in like the finals, but like in the cup stage, like usually you're just watching teams that both have no chance of winning, like fighting it out in the lower bracket, and it's just not. I don't know. To me, it like kind of isn't super entertaining, but yeah. So I mean, like this weekend, I mean, it's funny. I just tuned in right now, but like it was kind of assumed, right, that they would just like destroy every team, and it looks like they did. I also think that a big reason why they're doing old MDI format is because they're doing BlizzCon. And I think Dratnos brought this up on the podcast, or maybe it was Dorky, but like I think TGP at BlizzCon is insanely boring, but like I feel like MDI at BlizzCon is a lot more exciting. It's just like a more friendly LAN esport, you know. So wait, these people are all co-streaming this? Is that the deal? Oh yeah, they have like co-streamermen. That's cool. All the players and the co-streamers, I guess. Sweet. Oh, y'all see they did. Twitch is trying to do something about the view botting. I like that. I don't know if it's the exact answer, but I'm glad they're doing it. Anyone on Twitch who view bots is a bitch. Uh, don't hide behind the whole like, oh well, like everyone's doing it, so you're stupid if you don't. I've heard that take from a few streamers and not a few streamers, because no streamer's dumb enough to have that stance, because that's admitting they're view botting. But like managers and agents and like people in those organizations are like, these streamers got to be doing it, because it's just like, bro, if you're a streamer and you're doing that and you're using that as an excuse, that's fucking insanely embarrassing. That if you're ever doing that on purpose. Co-stream MDI with Dorky. Maybe one of the weekends that's actually interesting. I just feel like, yeah, I will say TGP is a better co-stream. Because, like, I don't know, there's always a little something going on, you know? But, like, there's just so many matches that just don't matter. Like, I know this ended up, I didn't watch the whole weekend, but, like, mandatory just 3-0s in the finals, right? I imagine that this whole weekend, if you went into it saying, like, dude, mandatory is just going to win, so, like, there's no stakes. And that's just exactly what happened, and it probably wasn't close. So, like, it feels like every match you watched that wasn't this one just wasn't even, like, what is there to even talk about? I guess maybe the first weekend of MDI, like during the cup stages, sometimes there's some like crazy cooks, but the thing is like there kind of isn't anymore, right? Because they like banned all snapping. So I know you can still cook a dungeon without snapping, like what they're doing right now. They're just running the whole dungeon up somewhere, but snapping is just way more fun. Mandatory had 0 deaths all weekend. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, even if they did, I bet they would have still won, you know? I feel bad for the casters. What is there to say? Do you think the snapping ban is lame or it was needed? Oh, feel very strongly that it was lame. Like almost all of the really exciting moments in the MDI involve snapping. like the Atal Dazar snap, which was really fun to do and watch. The like Echo having that like Halls of Valor bear snap in their back pocket and they pulled it out for the global, like that was so exciting. It's just like basically without snapping in this game, it just limits the really creative shit you can pull out of your pocket to beat someone, which is like exciting to watch the viewer. It just eliminates a lot of that. Um Dude, honestly, it's all Echo's fault. I feel like if you play another reality out where they never do the plague borer shit, I feel like the MDI is so much better. But because the plague borer thing happened, maybe another plague borer would have happened if plague borer didn't happen. Like basically, plague borer might have happened just because of how relaxed they were with the rules or something like that. But like if that specific thing didn't happen, it is certainly possible that like there's way less like rules associated with all of that. Mandatory was so insane this weekend. Yeah, it's cool. So what is mandatory? It's like mandatory is Mira's who's on this team? It's like because old mandatory like last expansion they kind of like didn't do that well in the last tournament and it, like their team blew up. For Echo and Method, it doesn't matter what guilds they're in. Just like what are the players' names? Mirez, Ryson, Gingy, Kush, Maystein. Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. So yeah, but I guess what's the tie to mandatory? Is it just that Maystein used to be in mandatory, but everyone else they just like picked up? Yeah. What's the TL team? I think it's a Shine, Wolf, Boomy, Zevi, and Yips. I think. Did any Liquid players participate? Yeah, they're in another cup. They were doing really well in the time trials. They were like number one in the time trials, and then we kind of griefed them. We had the last 2 days of the time trials, we had two like 4 hour plus long meetings, plus a bunch of officer conversations where they basically just didn't do the last 2 days of time trials, and then they got passed up by I think 2 or 3 teams. And now they have to play against Miscount in their cup. But they did really, really good in their first season together, which was the TGP at the end of last expansion. Doesn't Fired Up play MDI as well? He has a few times. Fired Up has played with me a few times. And then I think he played last expansion at some point. I think maybe at the end with another team, but I don't think he's playing now. I'd be really surprised actually if he was playing now. How do you look at all the groups? Usually Raider IO. Yeah, but I'm over that now. All right, what's on the up and up and wow? I have a video I want to react to potentially. But what's on the up and up? I know there were some Diablo notes I kind of wanted to look at. Oh wait, weren't there like PoE? Weren't there some crazy like PoE announcements? I saw some people going crazy about that on Twitter. Fired Up's busy playing Diablo. Yeah, Diablo fucking owns, man. It's crazy. It's so nice. I actually feel like the good way to put it is I think Diablo 4 has successfully passed the like I think where Diablo 4 is now is it is better than Diablo 3 ever was, which is a very high compliment. I think Diablo 3 was fucking amazing. Some of those seasons near the end were just so fucking good. But yeah. Diablo is still HP chunk though. PoE 2 does it better. Yeah, your game's great, man. Your game is the best. There's a Fellowship dev stream on new character and itemization changes on Tuesday. Dude, I may or may not have gotten the new character leaked to me. But I'm not going to leak it on stream because then they would all hate me. But it looks cool. Max, you can react to the announcement. They have it segmented so you can leave when you're bored. Oh, for Diablo, I'll watch something. For PoE, I'll probably just read like some notes. You know, maybe like a summary. Is Blizzard going overboard with casual content? Since the release of Midnight, players have been introduced to an enormous amount of new content that has little to no impact on player power. I think that's the point. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people like me that kind of miss like the dopamine simulator from like Legion. I don't know if that was healthy, but it was really nice when it was there. But then it got old. But maybe time to bring it back. I don't know. Max, I heard there was a big ban wave on Friday. Do you know anything about it? No, other than I know our. So I haven't been keeping up with it, but I know our main gold person, the person who pays out all of our buyers and stuff, said that he got banned. I think also with the gold on him from our most recent like Lura sale or something, maybe that's made up, but I mean that sounds kind of bad. And then I also heard that like we've heard that some helpers like from the race have gotten banned. That it's kind of hard to look into because you know, I mean, if there's a bunch of people that are just completely innocent and they've never done anything and they just helped us during the race and have gotten paid gold and like Blizzard flagged that for some kind of bullshit, like we'll definitely fight that fight. That I don't think that's ever happened before. But it's also really weird because if like 2 or 3 helpers reach out on a big ban wave and they're like, "Hey, we got banned. Does this have anything to do with like helping during the race?" And then it's really hard to look into that because most of the time that people get banned, they like got banned for another reason or something else, and then it's like okay. Because I feel really stupid when I reach out to Blizzard about stuff, and then like someone made some shit up. You know, that's happened multiple times with us. Where like I mean, even the Hopeful thing, right? Like I didn't like claim Hopeful was innocent, but I'm like, hey, our player just got banned. Like, can you look into that and let us know if anything's happening? And they're like, yeah, that guy fucking account shared for instant dollars, and we're like, God, he's so stupid, you know. But I don't want to like. You don't want to be the person that you don't want to be the boy who cried wolf, right? Like every time someone gets banned, you try to like beg Blizzard to fix it, but like they're not going to fix it and they have never fixed it if that person actually did something wrong, but we always want them to help us if someone didn't do something wrong. Like this last year, I forget 2 people, KSP and someone else, both got banned like in Heroic Week. Like at the end of the week, and it was just a complete like random false ban and we got it overturned, but like I don't know. You don't want to like use up that goodwill. If your gold guy gets banned and people who were helpers got paid out, it would add up. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, the I don't know too much about it. I know we posted to Blizzard about it. I can actually double check. I saw this like days ago. Yeah, I don't think there's been any follow up. The 8th was the when they posted about it. But apparently they did a different kind of gold trade. Like they, instead of trading the person, that person convinced our guy to take the gold from a guild bank instead of trading him, which I don't really understand. And like we don't know if that's what caused it, but like that's the only thing that's different. So like maybe they flag that differently. I have no idea. Would it be weird to say that the game is getting more casual? The aim is to go console. Oh my god, dude! Do you guys remember? Were you guys alive to experience when they basically just announced that the new Xbox would basically just be a PC, and then like all of the dumbest people you know were trying to make it a like, of course, WoW was going to console thing. How long ago was that? That couldn't have been that long ago. I feel like it was like last fall, maybe something like that. God, that was a time. That was a fucking time. A lot of boosting community gold collectors were also banned recently. Yeah, that. I mean, obviously, anyone that's actually innocent, it sucks if they ever get banned, and I hope it gets overturned. But my experience with gold communities and also the entire logic surrounding them is I'd bet money that anyone that's like in a gold community that got banned is probably RMTing because it's just there's just too much gold involved and there's too many countries where WoW golds is randomly like if they were to sell their WoW gold they would make more money than if they had a job in their local economy. So there's just the incentive to sell the gold or RMT the sales is always too strong. And like, as far as I know, every single gold boosting community has been RMTing, and Blizzard knows that, which is why they keep nuking them. Even if it starts out with good intentions, it's just the people at the top just end up making too much gold, and after you buy everything in the game, they're just gonna simply try to sell it or start making money. There's no way around it. It'll happen every time. Also, my food is here, and I have to eat that, so I do kind of have to react to something so I can eat. You know what I'm saying? Also, should probably turn my camera off. Because I haven't gotten a haircut, I actually food gets stuck in my beard all the fucking time, and it's very annoying. New Haruma Red video. Wait, real shit? I haven't watched one of his videos in forever. I haven't even checked this shit. Let's see. Top 10 weirdest abilities from Legion. Top 10 final bosses in World of Warcraft Part 2. Ooh. I will partake, I think, in that. I think Part 2 is he did this many, many years ago. And I think the rest of them are not very interesting to me. Lore characters doesn't matter. Questlines doesn't matter. Rarest items I don't care about. Weirdest abilities from Legion is kind of fun. But yeah, also I'm trying not to hover over the video because it'll probably spoil it. But yeah, I'm caught up on the. Oh yeah, let's fucking hit that. When did he do a previous one? Let me try not.
In today's
wait, let me have him explain.
Video, we're going to go over some of the best final bosses from raids throughout the history of Warcraft. Keeping in mind that the last time we covered this topic was 8 years ago.
Yeah, and we reacted to that. And a lot of bosses have happened in the last 8 years. All right, fucking W, boys. Last best end bosses of all time. Let's fucking slam it. Best end bosses of all time. I'm not going to rank them, but I will just type 10 of them. This was made 2 months ago, by the way, so this will not include Lura, so we'll probably just not do that. Here we go. Best end bosses of all time. So there's some definite bangers. So for me, we have Ragnaros. We have Lei Shen. We have Dimensius, because this was on the thumbnail, so I'm assuming that he's going to... This was after Dimensius. I mean, it has to be after Dimensius. Is that how you spell that? I'm not changing it if not. Fyrakk. Ansarek. A lot of recent ones, but I mean, they have made a lot of very good bosses recently. Lura would... I don't know if Lura is actually one of the best. I guess it's the most recent, and they keep getting better at it. So, oh my god, Sired and Athreus, yeah. He's an old head, so he's probably going to do like Lich King. Plus, I also think like Lich King's Pharaoh is sick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 3 more. 6, 7. Technically, Lei Shen isn't an end boss. Yeah, it is. Gul'dan? Oh, Gul'dan for sure. Blackhand also. 1, 2... I mean, that should be 9, right? So 1 more. KJ? Jailer? I would not put Jailer. I feel like that's a crazy take. I feel like Jailer has so many problems, actually, but maybe. Oh, Archimonde is a nice one. Argus? Yeah, I mean, dude, the ones I'm... Archimonde, Argus, those are top of my mind right now. It's actually a pretty competitive list near the end. I think there's probably even a few more I'm not really thinking of. I'd have to like look through a dungeon journal to remember all the raids. Definitely not Ashara. N'Zoth? I'm not gonna go with N'Zoth. Sarkareth? No, also no. Pretty creative, but no. He's probably going to have some old shit in here, and we're going to miss a few. Sylvanas, no. Yeah, Rag from Fire Emblem is definitely. I'm thinking maybe Garrosh from Siege of Orgrimmar. Why don't you count Rauden because he sucked? It just wasn't an end boss. Like Lei Shen was like took an insane amount of time. It took the right amount of pulls, and then you pulled Rauden and it just like instantly died. It wasn't the pinnacle challenge. It was a little extra fun mythic boss at the end. It wasn't the end boss. Una? Oh wait, Jaina. Ooh, Jaina, Archimonde, or Argus? What goes on my list? Actually, dude, if we're not talking nostalgia, I feel like Lich King is just an objectively worse fight than all of these, so I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'll put Jaina in there. Still down to Archimonde and Argus, though. Archimonde clears Argus. Please capital Jaina. No, my guy. Remove Ragnaros. You do not know ball. Let's do Archimonde. That's fine. Okay, honorable mention Argus. Actually, we're gonna give ourselves 11 because I make the rules, and he's definitely gonna throw in some nostalgia bait, and I'm gonna get a few wrong anyway, so I'm giving myself more chances here. All right, let's slam it. I make the fucking rules. All right, let's get it.
So there's been plenty of new raids since then, many of which have included some pretty fantastic encounter design, with memorable moments, big lore significance, and wonderful visuals. So starting off at number 10, we have Lei Shen, the Thunder King.
Yep.
The final boss of the Throne of Thunder
All
raid.
Right. Insanely low ranking for Lei Shen, let's be honest. I don't know if I'd put, just because so much time has passed and you have to make the argument of whether you are... Like, Lei Shen would not hold up in today's day and age. It's a fucking insanely old boss. It's like almost 15 years old. But the concept is an all-time great. And at the time, you could argue, I think it might be the best boss ever. Especially, and this is like not really the fault of a lot of current raids, but in this raid, you didn't stream world first progression. So back then, it took 5 guilds to kill a boss until people released their videos. And a bunch of guilds had different strats. Like, because you could empower... So there was 4 main boss abilities, and you could choose to empower and then double empower certain ones, which made... It was like a build a boss, right? And like the top 5 guilds all did it. Not all a different way, because there was some collusion. Basically, one of the guilds hated one of the other guilds and like leaked their strat to someone because, you know, there's some shit like that. But like, I think there was 3 different strats within the top 5, which is really cool. So I just think it deserves... Now, there could be a lot of bosses currently that actually also do that, but like it doesn't happen, right? Because streaming exists. You wake up and someone progressed farther than you, and you're like, all right, fucking yoink, I'll take that shit. And then you don't do that. I think Ansarek was maybe the last boss where there was clearly 2 different like strats, even though they were streaming, which is pretty rare. But all right, slam it. I like it. Max,
In
just
Mist of
reminder
Pandaria,
patch 5.2.
patch
Yeah, I know, man.
5.2.
I'm yapping.
The resurrected first emperor of the Mogu Empire, Lei Shen gained his immense strength by binding the Titan Keeper Rauden and stealing his power. With it, he then conquered Pandaria, defeating even Zuin the White Tiger and August Celestial in combat, and ruled as one of the most fearsome warlords in Azeroth's history. The only reason he was even defeated in the first place was due to the Tol'vir of Uldum desperately...
Hold on. Are we ranking these by lore? Because then this is going to end up being really wrong. Or maybe he's just filling time in the video by giving some backstory. But I wonder if he's actually ranking them based on like how cool the characters are or like how good the boss fights were.
Using the Forge of Origination to repel the Mogu invasion. That device being a literal Titan weapon of mass destruction, designed to scour all life on the planet in case of corruption. And as revealed in Chronicle Volume 1, that was the very same device that Algalon attempted to activate at the end of the Ulduar raid in Wrath of the Lich King, as well as Deathwing trying to obtain it through his Twilight Hammer cultist during Uldum's questline in Cataclysm, and N'Zoth almost succeeding in corrupting during the final patch of Battle for Azeroth. According to the Warcraft wiki, Lei Shen would even beat the Lich King if the fight was a 1v1, though his army would lose a
Damn, he
battle
was
against
built like
Scourge
that?
forces due to the Scourge being able to just
better raid fight than Lich
self-replenish
King.
reinforcements
Sorry if I-
constantly. The encounter
enraged
itself
you.
that the raid is from revolved around Lei Shen's mastery of 4 conduits of power, north, east, south, and west, with each granting him different abilities. The north conduit empowered static shock, charging a player with electricity that detonated after several seconds. The east conduit gave him diffusion chain, a chain lightning attack. The south conduit granted overcharge, stunning players caught by a rapidly expanding ring of electricity. And the west conduit conjured bouncing bolts.
I forget which one it was, but Blood Legion strat involved mass spell reflect, which I thought was like really clever.
Which struck random ground locations
what's up,
and,
Dort?
if not absorbed, spawned unharnessed power adds. All of which leads to a pretty chaotic encounter that really kept players on their toes.
What's up, you
With
little
Heroic
cat?
being even more crazy due to the fact that the overloaded conduits did not disable, instead remaining active permanently, forcing guilds to strategically decide which abilities they could endure for the rest of the fight. This design meant every group's progress felt somewhat unique.
Yep.
All in all, it was a challenging
Banger.
but fair fight. However, as we progress through this list, we'll start to see boss encounters that combine strong mechanics with even greater lore and spectacle.
Oh, God.
Now, if you're a WoW player,
Oh,
you already
God.
know that mounts, achievements, reps, parses, alts,
What are we
you
doing
like
here?
to track
Is
everything.
this an ad?
And that's why I like Play Tracker.
Good ad.
Play Tracker
Fucking
takes
damn
all of your
it.
games, battle.net, and
Yeah, I'm
progression,
skipping this
then this
stuff.
scratches that same itch. Check out Play Tracker with my link in the description below. And at number 9, we have Nefarian, the final boss of Blackwing Lair in Vanilla Patch 1.6.
What are we doing here? You know what I
The
mean?
eldest son of Deathwing and
What are
brother
we-
to
what are we
Onyxia,
fucking doing
Nefarian was obsessed with creating a chromatic dragonflight. His lair atop Black
Alright,
Rock
that's
Mountain
fine. W
is
for the old
filled with
heads, W
twisted
for the old
traits
heads.
and corrupted creations, all leading to a showdown with the Prince of the Black Dragonflight himself. Now, in Vanilla WoW, Nefarian was on the verge of success, but only a few of his chromatic creations were actually strong enough to survive into adulthood, with most being unstable, short-lived, or deformed and ultimately destroyed by us.
Dude,
during the raid.
honestly, I wish I
Meanwhile,
gave a fuck
later
about
in
WoW lore.
Cataclysm, Nefarian does return and finally
how much
succeeds
cooler
in
the game would
creating
be
a new generation of chromatic
If I killed a
dragons.
boss and I'm
A
like,
plot
oh my
point
God,
which plays
like,
a
that's this
major role in the
person's
Twilight
sister,
Hammer
and,
cult
like,
schemes during the events of the Christy Golden's
They
novel,
fucking
for all
fought
its positive
Khadgar and
aspects.
whatever, I don't know.
The dragon lore is some
That'd be
pretty
amazing.
dark stuff. But in the books, cultists infiltrate and replace all the eggs at Wormless Temple with chromatic ones, causing Alexstrasza's main consort, Koliostraz, to have himself sacrificed in order to destroy them, with a particular 5-headed chromatic dragon called Chromatus being the final battle of the book as well. In terms of the encounter, Phase 1 involves players fighting what feels like a never-ending wave of Dragonoid adds before Nefarian even emerges. And once he does, he then unleashes a bunch of attacks like Bellowing Roar, Shadow Flame, and Veil of Shadow. But the real highlight in Phase 2 are his class calls. At certain intervals, Nefarian would target classes and then cause some real problems. Hunters had their bows breaks, priest heals turned into damage over time effects, warriors were locked into berserker stance, and a paladin spammed
Veil of
blessing
Shadow?
protection
Yo.
on
Straight up, I'm a full conspiracy believer that he's not just reading the script wrong. I think it's intentional rage bait. There's like one word every video that's so obviously not how you say something that it's just there's no way it's not on purpose. It's pure rage bait.
Nefarian himself, making him immune to physical damage, causing players to feel like a liability, but intentionally, which is more fun than accidentally feeling like a liability. And at number 8, we have Kil'jaeden, the final boss of the Sunwell Plateau in the Burning Crusade,
Ah, my guy.
patch 2.4. Known as the
What-
Deceiver, this
what are
fallen
we
Eridar
fucking doing
corrupted
here?
the orcs of Draenor, tortured Ner'zhul for an
Dude,
impossibly long time.
Dude, the
before
old heads are
selling
eating
Soul
good
in
right
honor
now.
of the Lich
The old
King,
heads are actually
and
so happy.
orchestrated countless Legion invasions across the cosmos.
It's a lore list.
Although the Isle of Quel'Donis
Yeah,
questline,
maybe we'll get some bangers coming in here.
Kil'jaeden's sudden reveal at the end of the Burning Crusade was a genuine surprise for players. With Illidan being all over the expansion artwork and marketing, most people kind of just assumed
I don't even know
he
if
would be the
original
ultimate
KJ,
end boss.
like, or not
But
original KJ,
instead,
but like
we
our
got the
KJ.
second in
I don't know if
rank
it's a top
of
10
the
boss.
entire Burning Legion.
It was just
Kil'jaeden's
too
fight
bugged.
tied directly into the
Overtuned.
fate of Avina Teague, the mortal
Which I
vessel
think that
of the
matters.
Sunwell's energy. Her sacrifice at the climax of the raid prevented Sargeras' arrival, making this encounter a pretty pivotal moment in Warcraft's cosmic storyline. As for the fight itself,
Dude, I imagine though,
it
dude,
was
just imagine it's in 2000 whenever this came out.
pretty pivotal.
And just imagine you're looking at this on your screen.
Moment
Holy
in
fuck, you've never seen anything like this in your life.
Crafts cosmic storyline. As for the fight itself, it was
I can
a pretty
respect
long
that.
one.
Go over
coming
the
in at
fellowship
5
changes.
phases.
Are they
The most
posted?
iconic mechanic
I'll do that
being
shit.
Darkness of 1,000
We're about to
Souls,
skip through a lot of this
raid
because this
white
is
shadow blast
I
that
think this
forced
video might
players
be
to
on
use
some
the
bullshit.
dragon orbs dotted around the room. and
Like, look at we are not doing well. We've gotten one of these right. These were our top 10 end bosses of all time, but also it's not including Laura because it is this video was made before Laura came out. But also, I don't know if Laura is a top 10 end boss. It's definitely like the hardest or one of the hardest bosses, but I don't know if it's actually like. Yeah, maybe it is. It's hard to tell. My recency bias always makes me want to rate the current boss we did as like the best boss ever or the hardest boss ever. And then I'm trying to like combat that, but I don't actually know. I mean, like I think the moment with the secret phase was really cool, but like that's not going to actually impact a lot of people's experience with the boss, so I don't know. Like I think a criticism of the boss kind of is the secret phase. Like I think for most people, when you get the boss to 0% in P3, it feels like that should be the end of the fight. It certainly did in the race. And like I criticize a lot of bosses that are longer than 10 minutes for the problem of like they have a phase that they don't need. Like it just has an extra phase for no reason. And like I feel like that boss is kind of like that if you can get past the like surprise factor of it, even though it looks really cool.
Powered by Calicos. Raiders would transform into blue dragons mid-fight, using bespoke abilities such as
Sylvanas
the
hater.
Must-Use Shield of the Blue,
Sylvanas has two
which would
great
protect the
phases,
raid
but
from a
one
wipe,
really bad
while
one,
also
unfortunately.
granting unique buffs through Breath Revitalize and Breath Haste. This mechanic gave the fight a cinematic edge that made players feel like they were part of a larger story. Another cool moment was the arrival of Sinister Reflections, mirror images of raid members that mimic their class abilities. And then there was Armageddon,
All
with
right.
meteors crashing down across the
We're hitting
battlefield,
the next boss here.
punishing
I'm over
phases. And that's why it deserves a spot on this list. And at number 7, we have N'Zoth the Corruptor, the final boss of Ny'alotha, the Waking City.
it. See, he's a rage baiter. I'm telling you, he loves lore. There's literally no way he thinks it's called Ny'alotha. It's purely for like comment rage bait or something. Honestly, I respect that.
Battle for Azeroth patch 8.3. N'Zoth was one of the original 4 old gods.
This boss was so flawed though. Like I don't know, you have to do an entire like immune thing for the thought harvesters and P1 was just like do you think like P1 was an entire rotation too long? You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like you just did an extra phase of P1 for like no reason personally. P2 was nice, but it was just like most of the boss. I mean, maybe if you took away P1, it would have been too much of the boss, like P2. Like, I don't know. I just like gameplay wise, I don't think N'Zoth is top
2
10.
landed on Azeroth in its
I would even take some like old head shit from Wrath over this.
primordial ages, revealed to have been in prison.
We're gonna skip
deep
the lore.
beneath- Overall, the ending cinematic was a bit of an anticlimax, but N'Zoth's reveal, the atmosphere,
Bro, we didn't even get an achievement when we killed this boss. That's actually what the secret phase thing. Do you want to know why I was so tricked by the secret phase? Is I didn't see an achievement. But like you have to keep in mind when we killed N'Zoth, we also didn't see an achievement and we got pulled into a different realm. So and then it wasn't a secret phase and they just like Blizzard had to manually give us the achievement. The game just like bugged out. But like that's kind of what I was thinking during the secret phase.
complexity of its design all contributed towards N'Zoth being particularly memorable. And at number 6, we have Dementius the All-Devouring, the final boss of the Mana
Okay.
Forge Omega in the War Within patch 11.2.
I think that might be
Dementius
fair.
is a
It's like recency bias. I feel like Dementius was really good, but maybe all time it's like 6. I could say like maybe being outside the top 5.
Void
makes sense.
Lord, first introduced all the way back in the Burning Crusade during the Netherstorm questlines. At the time, he was nothing more than just a name kind of mentioned in order to provide some backstory to
They
the
gave me way too many
Ethereals.
mashed potatoes, bro.
Originally a race called the Kereshi on a
How am I
planet
even supposed to
called
put gravy in
Koresh,
this bitch?
Dementius invaded their world, opened countless gateways to the
There we go.
void, and bathed the planet in dark energies. In an attempt to protect their world and world soul, the Koreshi created the big magical domes. But these emitted intense radiation which caused the Koreshi's people's skins to basically disintegrate. After which, they were forced to start wrapping their forms in cloth bindings. But fast forward to the War Within, and Blizzard finally brought Dementius front and center as a raid boss, essentially playing off of nearly 2
Wait, he
decades
existed
of
before he was a raid
foreshadowing.
boss? I guess that makes
Dementius
sense.
practically embodies the destructive hunger of the Void, consuming entire realities and leaving nothing but emptiness behind. His return ties directly into the broader cosmic narrative of Warcraft,
He was a
where
quest
the
mob
Void
before?
Lords and the Old God Servants have long sought to unravel the Titan's ordered universe. The
Dude, what a
fight had
come
a
up.
few
Imagine
standout
just being a
mechanics.
quest
The most
mob
iconic
20 years
being
ago
the
to just being a
reality
fucking
collapse.
banger in boss.
The battlefield fractures into
It could
shards
happen to
of
anybody,
different
bro. Hogger.
dimensions, forcing players to fight across shifting platforms
Think about
while
it.
avoiding being consumed by the Void. On top of that, there is Cosmic Devourer, a mechanic where Dementius attempts to erase entire sections of the raid, requiring players to stabilize a dimension. And then there's the visual spectacle of it all. The fight is filled with cinematic.
I wish I didn't care about lore as much as Max does. It would make playing so much quicker. But isn't that not the point? Like, isn't the more time you play a game and are entertained, isn't that like better for you? Like, I wish I cared about lore, bro. I wish I like wanted to read quest text and it like really mattered to me. It would like give me so much more entertainment.
Transitions, particle effects, and void storms tearing through the arena. To be honest, the only reason Dementius doesn't rank higher on this list is because of
He said rake. Bro, it's
how
rage bait.
new the encounter is. But I don't think it's incorrect to rank
Wait,
higher on
what?
this list is because of how new the encounter is.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, we can't put it higher on the list because it's so new. What does that even mean? Like you have to like let it cook? Like it has to like okay, I mean, I guess there is one thing. If he's just saying like for recency bias, I could see that.
But I don't think it's incorrect to say that this is the most visually stunning and cinematic raid boss that Blizzard has created thus far.
Ooh, is that facts? Not P1. I mean he's exclusively talking about dragon riding, right? When the guy goes huge mode and I don't think you could make that argument about P1. Maybe even P2 is actually really cool. Is P3 like sick? Maybe the end of P3.
And at number 5, we have Firak the Blazing, the final boss of Yggdrasil, the Dream's Hope, and Dragonflight.
See, I honestly feel like Firak was more... See, am I rage baiting? I don't think that's actually how you say the name of that boss, but it's okay. I think Firak was honestly like more cinematic. Like in P1, you're like running out of room. You like have to fill it up. And you can see they're like halfway done here. And then like the intermission's really cinematic. P2 is... Well, there's a lot going on in P2. I don't know about cinematic, but P3 is like crazy cool, right?
One of the prime incarnates, Firak embodies fire itself, but his hunger for power drove him to embrace the corrupting forces of Shadowflame. Armed with the legendary axe Firolath,
The boss is ultra ugly.
He sought to twist Yggdrasil into a weapon of annihilation, burning Azeroth to ash and making it in his own image. Lore-wise, Firak's battle ties directly into the fate of the Kaldorei souls bound within Yggdrasil Sea. These spirits, gathered by Elune
He's saying some
and the
words. I don't know what
Winterqueen
they
after
mean.
the burning of
Skipping. All right.
Scene
What do you guys
does
think?
kind of
Top
let it down.
5. What do you think of all the ones he's named so far? Of this list, which I guess Lei Shen has been chosen. Okay. Lei Shen's been chosen. Firak's been chosen. Dementius was chosen. And no one else. Okay, so you have to pick 5 bosses. Missing Lich King? No, I'm not. I had Lich King on there immediately, and then I remembered. I mean, if I'm trying to guess his list, he's for sure going to have Lich King on there. But, like, I made my own list. I was like, I would put Lich King on there, but I'm also not fucking old. Actually, I'm kind of old, but it's not... You'd have to be a true nostalgia old head to say that Lich King was a better fight than these. But that's not really how he's doing this list at all, so... I mean, it's going to be wrong. But he has to pick 5. So what 5 would I pick out of these that he hasn't done so far? I think Sire Denathrius and Gul'dan have to be on there. Like, even on some lore shit, I feel like these 2 have to be there. And then maybe even Blackhand too. Just straight up these 3. And then he's going to do Lich King, so then there's room for one more. Maybe Ragnaros, honestly. Maybe I feel like Firelands Ragnaros might make his list, and that might also be true. I'm gonna go with Blackhand, Gul'dan, Sire Denathrius, and Ragnaros plus Lich King is my guess for him. Oh no, he's gonna say like Yogg Saron or some dumb shit.
Down a little bit, but its atmosphere and story significantly still makes it one of the most memorable raid bosses Blizzard has designed. And at number 4, we have Sire Denathrius, the final boss of Castle Nathria in Shadowlands patch 9.0. Denathrius was one of the Eternal Ones, forged by the first one.
Wait, I'm so stupid. There's 4 left, not 5. So it would be, yeah, so Sire, Gul'dan. Okay, just remove Ragnaros. Sire, Gul'dan, Blackhand, Lich King.
And the
we take that. We take that.
Ruling Revendreth from his gothic Castlevania-esque fortress, Castle Nathria, he's also the architect of the Dreadlords, who infiltrate other cosmic forces to spread the influence of death across reality. Our previous understanding was that they were spies for the Burning Legion.
Nope.
But unfortunately, Shadowlands went ahead and recontextualized a lot of stuff. Extremely charismatic, Denathrius presented himself as the Redeemer of Souls. But in truth, he was corrupted.
Dude,
by
when
the
I first saw
sins
the
his
Night
realm
Phase
was
Zone,
meant
I got
to
so
punish.
fucking mad.
Conspiring with Zolval the Jailer, hoarding anima and funneling it into
so
the
many
maw to free his
butterflies and
nimble
fucking
buddy.
bright colors,
Ultimately,
bro.
his defeat marked the end of the anima drought storyline, and somewhat brought the rest of the Covenants back together. Now, as for the fight itself, it's a 3-phase spectacle with several standout mechanics. Burden of Sin, a stacking debuff that slowed and silenced players until they deliberately cleansed it by being struck with cleansing pain. Meanwhile, the transition into Phase 2, March of the Penitent, then dragged players across the room while their movement was crippled by remaining stacks of Burden of Sin. Reaching the center cleansed the debuff, but failing meant certain death, leading to one of the most cinematic fight and, love it or hate it, pretty high lore significance
Blackhand, Lich King,
possibly
or
one
Gul'dan.
of the only good things about the entire Shadowlands expansion as well, to be fair. And at number 3, we have Queen Azshara.
There's no fucking way. There's no way. This is wrong. Even on some like is it like a crazy cool? There's no way. Queen Azshara over Gul'dan, Blackhand, and Lich King. Fucking explain yourself.
Boss of the Eternal.
This better be all about lore. I'm getting rage baited. If this is not about lore and it's like this fight was really cool, I'm actually gonna blow the fuck up.
Azeroth patch 8.2. Azshara was once the beloved ruler of the Kaldorei.
Oh yeah, you better talk
for her
about lore,
unmatched beauty and magical prowess. But her vanity and hunger for power led her to ally with the Burning Legion during the War of the Ancients. When the Well of Eternity collapsed, she and her Highborn basically almost drowned in the subsequent flood, leading to the Night Elven Queen making a deal with the old god N'Zoth and being transformed into the Naga,
a deal with an octopus,
becoming his most loyal servants. Then, for 10,000 years, she schemed beneath the waves, building her empire in Azshara and waiting for the day she could rise again.
Did you really do shit for 10,000 years, or did they just forget to write about her? You know, is she just like an unwritten, unimportant character for that long?
Azshara has been a legendary figure in Warcraft since the RTS era, so facing her and visiting Azshara were kind of a big deal. Now, the 4-phase/2 intermission encounter included some memorable mechanics, such as the Ancient Ward system, where 4 Titan wards powered the chamber and had to be carefully managed, while Azshara drained them with her magic, as well as Queen's Decree, where Azshara issued
Queen's Decree is such a, like... I mean, I literally made the weak aura for this that made you run around in circles and, like, do dumb shit. Like, cool in concept, but it's just like a weak aura do what it tells you simulator.
And such as stand together or spread out. Obeying them was mandatory, and failure meant instant punishment. Fun fact, using an emote such as /spit would cause Azshara to straight up
I don't know, maybe I'm tilted. I mean, this boss is like a race we definitely should have won, and we were just on the boss 2 days early, but the boss was just completely overtuned and couldn't be progressed for 2 days, and then we just lost because they took too long to nerf it. And that makes me, for sure, I'm jaded for that. Like 100%. I've always been. I probably always will be. But I still just don't think it just doesn't hold up as a fight compared to the others.
For disrespect. And finally, the last phase saw the wards collapse as Azshara attempted to
what about the phase in between those two, though? What about that one? What about that phase?
That ended with her apparent defeat, only for N'Zoth to revive her and shatter his prison, setting up
This
the
is
next
actually
tier.
rage bait. I'm
Keep
mad.
it in
I'm
mind,
mad.
as previously mentioned,
I'm blowing up.
anticipation and excitement
blowing
around
up.
seeing N'Zoth for the first time
Wrong.
was pretty high
Wrong.
anyway. Facing Ajara
Eh.
felt like the payoff for years of
Wrong
storytelling.
take. Wrong take.
And while opinions on the borrowed power system of Azeroth may vary, its raid encounters were strong, which is why we have several
except for
entries
this
from that
one.
expansion on this list. And at number 2, we have Lady Jaina Proud.
Oh,
The final
Jaina is a good boss. Jaina is a good boss. It would have been just outside. I mean, it's in my top 10, so I don't think this is like as egregious as Ashara. But I mean, you're taking Jaina. That means he's taking Jaina over Blackhand and Gul'dan, or on some old head shit, he's taking it over Lich King. That's fucking wild.
boss of the Battle for Dazara lore in Battle for Azeroth patch 8.1.
That's wild.
Jaina is one of the most iconic characters in Warcraft.
Yeah, but was the
Daughter
boss?
of the Grand Admiral
I mean, the boss was
Daelin
good, but it
Proudmoore,
wasn't
former
top 2.
ruler of Theramore, and one of the most powerful mages alive. Her story spans decades of Warcraft lore, from her tragic relationship with Arthas Menethil that ended at the
Wait, is he maybe like... Is he re-ranking... Is he not ranking bosses that he had already ranked in his other video? Or are there, like, repeats? If he's just naming 10 more bosses, I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, 10 bosses that I didn't name last time. Or is he, like, actually, like, re-ranking with new time?
to Stratholme,
New
to her
time.
alliance with Thrall and the Horde during the Third War, to the devastation of Theramore by Garrosh's mana bomb, which hardened her stance against the Horde for quite a while. After years of exile and political turmoil, she reconciled
I have
with
to look
her
at the other
mother,
video.
Catherine, and
After
reclaimed
this.
her place as Lord
There's no
Admiral
way.
of Kul
There's
Tiras.
no way the first one's gonna bait me. I mean, you have Gul'dan, Blackhand, Ragnaros, Lich King, and then if you want to get saucy, you have like Argus and Archimonde.
pledging her homeland to the Alliance. In Battle for Azeroth, she became
Like, what
a
else could he
central
even
figure
pick?
of the faction war.
Like, there's not
leading
even a
Kul
like
Tiran fleets
viable
against
other
the
choice.
Zandalari in one of the expansion's most dramatic confrontations. And since the Zandalari leader, King Rastakhan, had just been killed by the Alliance in the same raid, there was a real sense of urgency and
Bro, if he says
bloodlust from
Razagath
Horde
or
players
something,
seeking revenge.
Jailer.
During her boss fight, she had a couple of fun attacks and standout moments.
Garrosh would
Chilling
maybe
Touch,
not be
a
bad.
stacking debuff that slowed players and
Garrosh was
eventually
pretty
froze them
sick.
solid if not managed properly. Ring of Ice, where Jaina encased players in massive ice blocks that had to be broken quickly
bro.
to prevent deaths.
Yeah, just rip
Phase
Gahood.
2 introduced the iceberg
Most
mechanic,
epic worm.
where Jaina summoned colossal icebergs that blocked line of sight, with players having to use them strategically to survive
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
devastating
Okay, when's the
ice
next
fall,
boss?
and Glacial Stage captured
Yeah,
the
give me the
extent
last
of
one.
Jaina's power. Overwhelming frost
Yeah,
magic
yeah.
that transformed the battlefield into her weapon. Although, points lost that she escapes at the end, never forget and never forgive
Yeah, she should
the
have
Purge
fucking
daughter.
died.
This fight also probably doesn't hold quite as much significance for everyone, so for those reasons, it doesn't quite make the number 1 spot.
And what does?
And finally, at number 1,
There's
we
no
have
way.
Razagath, the
There's literally no way. Where's the other video? Where's the other video? 1 second. There's no way. It's fucking just Haruma. I can't believe this isn't rage bait. Haruma Red top 10 end bosses, and I have to see the original one. Top 10 hardest bosses, no. Top 10 magnificent. Yeah, 8 years ago. Top 10 magnificent final raid bosses. Was he just ranking?
In
Was
this
he just
video, I'll be
was if okay? The only thing that makes sense is Lich King, Blackhand, and Gul'dan were already in this video, so he just didn't rank them again. Okay, so 10 was Kael'thas, not in that video. He ranks Blackhand number 9, which is hilarious. He ranks Gul'dan number 8. He ranks Ragnaros, which is also on my list. He ranks Illidan, whatever, Garrosh, and Lich King. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. We're good. We're good. We're good. Except we're not good, because even if you include that, putting fucking
transformed the battlefield
Razagath
into her weapon.
at number 1.
Incarnate and
Razagath.
Dragonfly
Razagath
patch
is
10.0.
higher than Jaina. It's higher than Sire Denathrius. Woohoo! Actually, wait, if you're a heroic only raider, Razageth did go fucking crazy on heroic. It might be the best heroic boss ever, which is maybe where he's coming from. But Sire was also a really good heroic boss. Okay, dude, putting Razageth over basically every boss on this list. Okay, it's better than Nefarian. It's better than Old Kill Jaden. Is it better than N'Zoth? I mean, for obviously, like, okay, I hate this boss for extra reasons because, like, it was just the least fun boss to progress ever, and it was also killed while we were sleeping because it was nerfed. But even if you remove all of that, this just can't be a Mythic take. It just had one too many phases on Mythic. It's just not a good Mythic boss. Lost bias. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely biased. Like, not even just losing. I'm always biased when we lose. And I think the boss is worse than it is, and the same opposite thing for when we win. And then on some extra shit, like the nerf situation, I'll never be happy about this boss ever. That's part of this. But I think even without that, this is still insane. Like, no Race to World first. Just remove the Race to World first. Razageth over Sire Denathrius. No way. Razageth. I don't think Razageth over any boss on this list besides the old head shit. Okay, at least the other video, like, making sense. Why he ranked all of these in another video, right? He ranked Blackhand, Gul'dan. He ranked Ragnaros and Lich King in another video, which makes sense why all of those were not present here. But I mean, there's only one take he's ever had that is worse than this. I'm gonna find it. Haruma Red top 10 worst bosses. You're not fucking ready for this if you haven't seen this. Top 10 most hated bosses in World of Warcraft. I'm gonna change my screen just so it doesn't spoil it because I know I've seen this before.
Fights that people hated. And in this list, we'll be listing them.
Okay, so we're gonna list some of the bosses on here. Some of them were facts. He put Hellfire Assault. He put Spoils of Pandaria. That's a bad take. This was a good boss. He puts Malygos. I get it, right? He puts Faction Champions. Totally get it. That's true. People hate that boss. People hated Dark Animus. A little whatever. Razagor. I'm not that old. Galakras. Totally get it. Big, like, long, weird farm boss in the middle of the raid. Okay, he put Rygolon at 3. Fucking insane take. Top 10 most hated raid bosses. Insane take. That's not even bad, by the way. Okay, he put Spine of Deathwing at number 2. People hated this fight, bro. You're not even prepared for this. I'm turning it up.
One of the hardest fights in the history of the game, taking a few other titles for itself. It's one of the hardest fights that was harder than the end boss of its raid. It's one of the hardest ad control fights of all of those accomplishments. Yeah. It's also one of the most hated fights.
You ready?
But its throne may have finally been taken.
By what?
And at number 1, we have Sylvanas Windrunner.
Oh, wait, this is an old video. Wrong. Okay, yeah, people also hated Sylvanas. This is an old video. There's another video. Top 10 hardest and most annoying for no. Where is it? Top 10 worst raid bosses in WoW. Here it is.
This fight, I don't know.
Here we go.
I just know we had way too many white champs in TOC.
Okay, number 2 is Faction Champs. Whatever, bro. Get ready.
It's too much of a change of pace for raiders to do a PvP style fight in PvE, and universally hated by just about everyone.
Yeah.
What could be worse than a fight universally hated by everyone? Well, some people actually liked Faction Champions. Number 1 on this list is Heroic Black Fuse from Siege of Orgrimmar.
Maybe the best non-end boss ever. Like, it might be the number 1 best boss that was not an end boss of all time, and it wasn't even a second to last boss. Just fucking nuclear rage bait. And the Razageth thing isn't this bad. This one's crazy bad. Okay, anyways, I'm now fucking mad. I just started streaming and now I'm mad. Okay. I'm not gonna rage end my stream. I'm above that. I would never do that. I was just doing this while I was eating. Although I did kind of want to react to more of those videos by that one guy, but someone said there was Fellowship news. Fellowship announcements. Major Fellowship announcements includes the new named what the fucking AI is this? Okay, I guess this is a really inconspicuous title. Fellowship game. Yeah, Fellows. Is that even the right game? Is it called Fellows Guide? Fellowship. Ooh, wait, where is the Fellowship season 3 thing? Was it like a YouTube thing? Fellowship. Wait, it was 11 days ago? Is that it? How am I so far behind on this? Why did Dorky tell me to do this today? You want the notes? Yeah, probably. It's probably on here, right? Show and tell update. New season focuses heavily on a central theme. We don't care about that. This is all lore. DPS hero guide. The new hero is a dual-wielding, berserking fanatic currently named Gunda. Though the developers reiterate that the name is not final and encourage fans to suggest names. His design draws from classic folklore and Scandinavian influences, but the team deliberately avoided the typical Viking theme. So like a Fury Warrior? Actual gameplay footage for Gunda will be revealed very soon. Gunden Mandan. It reminds me of that. Which is a hello grasshopper in German. Good morning, grasshopper, sorry. Following Tariq's recent update, Sylvie is the next hero receiving a visual effects overhaul to make her abilities feel more bespoke, impactful, and properly integrated into the environment rather than sitting on top of the world. Okay. The VFX team is doubling down on a floral theme. Cool, so visual effect shit. First of all, I just want to say before even looking at the rest of this, I'm super happy there's just another season. I actually fucking love this game. This game is so fun. And I always want to play it. It's an amazing game. I was really sad when last season came out like right before the WoW expansion, and it just felt so bad that was the case. It just nuked the amount of time I was going to spend on that game by a lot, which kind of sucks. So they sort of started season 2 a month earlier. Yeah, for what it's worth, I think they know that. Like, I don't think they had a meeting and they were like, you know what? Like, I know we have a fully ready patch, but let's actually launch it right before the WoW expansion. Like, I think they probably just weren't ready, right? It's not like a huge company. But I'm just really glad that this still exists because, I don't know, because it's an ARPG and it doesn't, if you look at like player numbers near the end of a season, it is not popping. It can kind of make you wonder, like, maybe the game won't survive, especially because I literally want to give them money, but I can't. Like, every time I look at the shop when a new season comes by, I am the ideal customer. If there's anything cool in there at all, I'm going to buy it. And I just can't. There's just nothing in there that is even for a character I play. Like, it, you know, they absolutely tanked gearing. I think you'd be surprised. You can slow down an ARPG, and that can be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, ARPGs are this really interesting balance where, like, if they were to just give you everything instantly, you wouldn't play at all. But if they were to give you everything too slow, you would maybe get bored. There's a fine line in between those two things. And I think you could alter the trajectory of gearing and still have it be fun, you know? But I'll once I see the changes, I'll tell you how I feel about that. Private testing begins on May 15th. The build will be coming in hot. So players can expect to see how okay, cool. Players can sign up at this, and the developers noted that most people who sign up will be able to get in, although all testing will be strictly under NDA. I would do that if my whole group did it. Maybe. What am I doing on May 15th? That's in like 5 days. Could I do some fellowship gaming in 5 days? Okay, we'll see. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure if I reached out to them, I could get access to that. Okay. Next season, new Sylvie display stuff. I don't really care. And then that's it. That's the only... Okay, we need notes. I'm going to just go to their Steam page because I bet they did it on Steam. 1 second. Show and tell season 3, new heroes, new enemies, and more. No, actually, the rest of it is just in the video. Unless there's like a site that actually put in notes. Now I'm spamming. It doesn't actually. Here, I'll just give you mod so it'll work. You have a second underscore in your name? Jesus Christ. Okay, post the. How the fuck did that happen? Dude, I just gave him mod. And before it granted moderator privileges, it showed up as mod in chat. How's... Bro, there's some shit going on right now. Store Steam-powered news. Okay. Okay. Got it. Welcome to the third campaign checkpoint. Early action season 3 focus. Rough timeline. Yeah, we already know that. Snowy Peaks. Oh, wait, new dungeons? Concept art of the new dungeons. 2 of them. Snowy Peaks and Moor Castle. That looks cool. He's deleting people's messages. Yeah, I kind of figured that might happen. Okay, Sand Temple. There's a new pinnacle as well. Very cool. What is a pinnacle dungeon? A pinnacle dungeon that is a new type of experience that unlocks... Is it a new type of experience? I thought... Oh, it's actually just a straight up... It is... Okay, they're separating it. It feels like... They were called capstones before, so I guess pinnacle is new. It's not designed to be something you farm repeatedly. Instead, it's intended as a weekly challenge. Something that you push to compete at the highest level you can. It's a true chase dungeon built to test your... Oh, that's kind of cool. They exist as their own category, separate from the regular dungeon tiers. They are meant to stand apart as a high difficulty goal for players looking to push themselves and take on the toughest challenges available. So I wonder if that's going to be like... Are there going to be levels to it? Do you push as high as you can within the pinnacle dungeon and then there's weekly rewards? Or is it something that's like kind of like a raid where it's like a really fucking hard dungeon where like even completing it at all and there's only one difficulty? I'm actually kind of interested in that. That sounds cool. Who are the Heskir? Have appeared all over. Yeah, okay, I don't care about that. New hero preview. High-paced gameplay focuses on managing debuffs on enemies. There's the UI for managing debuffs on enemies isn't amazing. It's basically just only on their nameplates, which like it's playable, right? But yeah. We've heard your feedback around melee complexity, and Gunda is a step towards making that playstyle more approachable without losing its edge. If they make Mara easier, I'm gonna quit forever. Major updates to itemization through the game. As you already know, Fells' itemization design is most likely receiving a major update this season. Each uniquely named item will have a fixed set of stats as before. However, they will now also have a number of random stat slots and random modifiers. Oh, my fucking goat. Okay, they're leaning into actually being an ARPG. I hard fuck with that. The amount of randomized stats and modifiers on an item can have is determined by its rarity level. Dude, huge fan already. With this change, we have also reworked item rarity. Because, like, here's the issue. Like, you get your BIS in this game, which, by the way, is not hard. And then it's like, okay, you need to get sockets. It made sense. But, like, you eventually just like, days into a season, if you're grinding, you're DEing everything in your bags, and this makes it exciting to loot a dungeon basically forever. This is exactly right. Whether you're calling it Titan Forging or not, this is goated. Like, it's just going to make loot infinitely more interesting, and it's going to take you way longer to get BIS. This is definitely leaning into ARPG, but it's fucking sick change. With this change, we have also reworked item rarity. Rarity is no longer determined by the league it was dropped in. In the new system, all leagues have a chance to drop items of any of the rarities. The incentive is to progress through the leagues and play higher difficulty dungeons is now focused on increasing the item level of the items, which determines the magnitude of the stat values on an item. We have also made some changes as to how items drop and upgrading works once players get to Eternal, which we can share some information leading up to the season. We are working to incentivize players to climb the difficulties to progress their power, rather than farming Eternal 1 as the only optimal gearing process. Oh, very, very true. Yeah, it's super annoying. Like, I mean, in a way, it's fine, because, like, similar to another ARPG or other ARPGs, there's times where you, like, push content that's really difficult, and then there's times where you speed farm easy stuff to get gear. I think there's room for both, but I have definitely felt like I would rather have been doing harder dungeons while spamming, you know, Eternal 1 or Eternal 2 dungeons this season. So random modifiers can be an additional random stat. The higher the rarity is, the more random modifiers an item can have. Rarity name stills, yeah, sure. Rarity of an item also determines how many times you can upgrade that item, meaning high rarity items can reach a higher item level through upgrading and will have a longer lifespan. Yeah. We are still playtesting and tuning the new itemization system. Yo, I definitely want to play this beta, by the way. I need to get the whole fucking group together. Piccolos and mailmen. Anyone want to game the Fellowship Alpha or Fellowship playtest? They changed a bunch of shit under NDA, though can't stream. Can you get me in this, please? I mean, yeah, I'm sure they'll get me in it, but maybe I can convince them to get my whole group in if everyone wanted a game. I'll message them later. We are still playtesting and tuning this. Hopefully this gives you a better idea for what the change is and how it opens up the game. Is this what you guys were mad about? Is this the thing where you guys were like, dude, you can't target farm gear anymore, the gearing system? Bro, these changes are fucking insanely good. They're so... I mean, obviously we'll play it like... It was one guy being mad. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that one guy has basically only done like WoW Mythic Plus and hasn't played like an... But like this makes so much sense. It's so good. Okay. Hero talent reworks. We have decided to remove generic defensive talents from all heroes' talent trees and replace them with a new output-focused options, W. Below are a few examples of new talents for some of the heroes to give an idea of what the new talents being able to bring to the table. I don't play that character. I don't play this. Well, I do actually play this character, but I don't care enough to read it. Mara, yo, my goat. Your final stratagem ability, what does that mean? Is that your ult? Yeah, I think it is. Your final stratagem ability is replaced with this. It grants you 10 seconds of this, your spirit effect. If it is used while it's active, it extends this duration by 10 seconds. Oh, so... So basically, instead of having a massive ult, it's going to allow you to split up your ults. Is that what I'm reading? Like, it's probably going to use less spirit, but give you 10 seconds instead of 20. I mean, that would definitely be really good. That would be really, really good. Be a lot more fun to strategize too. Your seething poison damage, the 20% to erupt on the target, causing all nearby enemies to take poison damage. The damage of this is increased by X, where X is equal to your haste. Yeah, so that's like the bleed build kind of thing. But yeah. Sylvie, don't really care. Oddcomp. We've been experimenting and playtesting a new way to play Fellowship that we are internally referring to as the odd comp as the moment. This allows players to matchmake into groups that are role agnostic. The group receives a number of bonuses and modifiers depending on the comp to provide tools to be able to clear a dungeon regardless of roles. I mean, this is really ambitious before I even read into it, but this is basically trying to find a way to not have the queue times be absolutely fucked for certain classes and certain roles. So I understand why they would look into something like this. However, it's just... I mean, this is probably not going to be at the highest level, right? This is just to, like, get people into the game, which... I mean, this kind of makes sense. Right now, we're exploring this and opt-in features the potential to significantly reduce queue times for players that are doing this. Yeah, figure out how to approach. Okay, cool. Holy Trinity. A few weeks ago, we launched a new initiative where you can sign up to be part of our creator program. I don't know if I care about that. Why do I want to be in the creator program? Do you get like, oh, is it artists and stuff? Like, basically, what's the point of the creator program? Do you get dollars in some way? Because if not, I don't really know if I care. Let's see. Fill out this form. You get access to a range of perks, including Discord benefits. I don't care about that. In-game recognition. What could that be? And other creator opportunities. What the fuck does in-game recognition mean? Do I get like my own little Like a little logo or something? Like, what do you mean? A title? A check mark, bro? Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess I can reach out about that because I'm going to reach out about... I mean, only if people want to do the thing. But I'm kind of looking forward to this. That game has less than 500 active players at the moment, by the way. Dude, I'm surprised it's even that many. Like, what are you still doing this late into a fellowship season? What is happening right now? Especially without this new gearing system. You've just been BIS for 10 years. Yeah, unfortunately, they released the game. I mean, dude, they released the season at the worst possible time. Like, actually so bad. Okay. All right, I like that. Fan. Have there been any announced WoW changes that I might have missed? Because I know there was some like D4. There was a D4 post I wanted to... Oh, that's probably this one. Hi, baby girl. Tank changes. Wait, did it come out before or after our podcast? Because Dorky talked about that shit for a while. Large tank tuning with weekly reset. It was after? Damn it! Dude, we could have claimed that we did this. We could still lie. We could say that we sent Blizzard an early release of the podcast just to help the devs, you know. Let's see. We're looking at smoothing out the damage intake of blood outside of their cooldown window by increasing the consistency and uptime of their Apex talent. To further help these windows of high damage intake, we're also increasing the health and their health and death strike healing. Dancing Rune Weapon grants 25% parry. That's barely anything. Blood Fortification grants 40k, just passive stam. That might be nice. I don't know. Are you like constantly lay-on-handsing yourself with Death Strike? Or will the increase to its healing actually matter? Dance of Midnight grants Dancing Rune Weapon for 8 seconds with 6, and chance to proc was that. Okay. Vengeance Demon Hunter's baseline defenses are its most lacking, while cooldown availability and values are currently serving the spec well. As a result, we'll be primarily targeting core values for health and damage reduction. Demonic wards now reduce damage. Okay, thick skin. Basically a little tankier. I mean, actually, that's a lot of passive not basically passive DR. Okay. Prop Paladin. This was the one that was maybe getting the most fucked, right? Damage taken up to 20. Ooh. That's pretty good. It's a decent amount of HP. Ardent Defender duration increased to 12 seconds. That's actually pretty nice. Ardent Defender reduces damage taken by 30% was 20. That is sick. Aren't there some talents? There used to be some talents that made Ardent Defender like a lower cooldown or more available as well. Do those still exist? But I feel like giving them a much stronger personal is definitely nice. Even though a lot of the times when you're pressing Ardent Defender, it's for the like cheat death part of it. Although that's more of a raid thing, I think. I think maybe in Mythic Plus it is more like you just need more coverage. You know, it's a coverage thing. Sentinel duration increases 20. Cool. Protection melee damage mitigation is quite strong, but it's a bit behind for magical attacks, bro. Are we in BFA? This has just been Prot Warrior's bit forever, where they're a bit behind for magical attacks and damage over time. These changes are aimed at strengthening those areas as well as making it easier to maintain health, ignore pain values. So, I mean, so they didn't really nerf their ability to deal with physical stuff. They just buffed magic damage mitigation. That's pretty good. Prot Warrior changes are laughable. Null Sunder and high magic damage are still absolutely terrifying on my Warrior. All right, it wasn't enough. It was not enough. All right, let's look at the D4 stuff. Dude, I have thought about doing a D4, like, start over fresh solo self-found, but the problem is I don't think I can do that unless I buy a new account. Like, I buy a new game, you know, like I buy it on a separate battle. I guess I make a new account. Because you can't... Oh, then I'd have to farm the statues of Lilith, I think. Oh, we're not doing that. Or I'd have to play on hardcore, because, like, isn't it just going to keep my Paragon level? Isn't it going to keep my Paragon level and my, Like, I basically don't want to level up and have all my aspects already and 270 Paragon level or whatever it is. But hardcore is, hardcore would mean that it's like for sure a fresh reset, which is kind of what I'm looking for. But also, I find hardcore in D4 to be just slow softcore. You know what I mean? Like, if you're playing like regular, you end up playing a little on the edge, a little faster. There's like a choice of like, do you play in a riskier torment level, or do you play where you're playing? And like in hardcore, it's like, yeah, there's always the risk that your character might die, but also there isn't, because like you just play in content that you know you're not going to die, right? Also, thinking about it, at least like if I was playing hardcore earlier in the season, it would have been so bad because my character couldn't see anything on the ground. Like every time I died, it was 9 out of 10 times it was like a puddle that was like actually invisible. I don't know. Max, seasonal starts you over every new season. Yeah, but I've already played to 270 Paragon this season. Can I delete my other Sork? Does that make sense? Like if I deleted that character, would it reset all of my Paragon and all my aspects and stuff? I could do that. It would not. Ugh. Maybe we just play hardcore. I don't know. I kind of want to play again. Play a different build. D4's next pack's fixes. Okay, so let's see what they fixed. Set charms now play a unique drop sound to make them easier to notice. Hopefully that turns off if you change your loot filter. Set charms will now have a distinct minimap icon to improve visibility. Updated the tooltip for rogues. Narrow Eye Talisman to clarify it's receiving all its bonuses. Okay, some things for Druid. I'm just gonna ignore all the Druid stuff. I just don't play Druid. Miscellaneous. Echo of Mephisto and Echoing Hatred have been added to the Party Finder. There's a Party Finder in D4? I guess that makes sense. I've never really thought about doing that, but I mean that. I guess it makes sense why it's there. Campaign and quest. We don't care about any of this. Ooh, war plans. Here we go. Fix an issue where Infernal Horde encounters and war plans couldn't repeatedly respawn the Varshan boss in a single wave. Fix an issue where Nemesis boss layers could fail to trigger during certain war plan activities. Was this what was happening to me? Because I was positive I was bugged because I killed over 300 bosses without getting a Nemesis boss layer, which made me think there's just no fucking way that that is real. And that just must be what the bug was. Like if you were just on a certain war plan activity, it just made this not work. Okay, at least I get some clarity into knowing I'm actually bugged. Because a few people were baiting me into just saying that like you were getting unlucky, but like there's actually no fucking way. Like I'm trying to think of like an analogy to most of you who probably just play WoW of like what the chances of that are. But it's probably like killing a personal loot boss. Just like 100 times without getting loot or something in a row. Just something that like you just can't happen. Even though I'm pretty sure there's bad luck protection in WoW, which doesn't apply here, but same thing. Fix an issue with some war plans could grant unintended rewards and materials. Fix an issue where Endless Swarm could cause additional enemies. War plan campaign states evaluated inconsistently. Fix an issue. Roderick Hunter. None of these mean anything to me. Fixed an issue where non-mythic charms and seals could not be traded. Never ran into that. Fix an issue where minion health bonuses granted by charm and seal affixes were not consistently applied. I think that was true of a lot of things. You just had to like re-equip them or something. But maybe they already fixed that. Fix an issue where the increased marksman skill damage bonus provided by this narrow eye talisman would remain active even as no vengeance stacks. Fix an issue where necromancer talisman set bonuses did not apply full minion. Okay. Let's just look at stuff that matters to us. Oh, fix an issue where aspects imprinted onto transfigured amulets did not match codex values. Yeah, that was weird. There was one where it was like it grants you 2 to 3 resolve, and it just rolled 0, and it never gave you resolve. That was so strange. Fix an issue where Horadric gem crafting options were unavailable at the jeweler. Wait. They were supposed to be on the jeweler the whole time? Fix an issue where transmuting armor with the Horadric cube will create armor that's not usable by the creator's class. Oh, wow, that would make me mad. Oh, yeah, these made sense. It like wouldn't work. Gameplay. All right, where's the Sork thing where it's like we're going to make Lightning Blizzard not take up the entire screen? Max, check out the PoE 2 League thing too. There's a shorter trailer available without the full announcement. Yeah, we can check that. Would absolutely watch you play hardcore. Dude, I think like streaming hardcore in Diablo is just fake news, man. Like you're just not. I guess the only time it's fun to watch hardcore in Diablo is if you're like kind of done with the character and you're okay if it dies. I feel like that's fun content because you're willing to like do stuff that will probably kill you, and then it's like, holy fuck. But like you just simply don't do that. Like that's not your mindset. It just makes you play slower. Like you're not gonna fucking die. You just don't go into a torment level where you can die. That simple. I thought Ben's hardcore Diablo stream was awesome. Wait, like recently he played this current season? Hi, Lily. Because I messaged him the day it came out, and I was like, log in, time to game. And then he said, okay. And then he realized it was about Diablo and was like, no. Okay. Big patch. Let's go. God, I really do want to play solo self-found. I would log on Diablo right now if you could solo self-found and like on non-hardcore. I don't even know what you'd call that. Regular. If it could just like remove my Paragon levels I've already gotten. I would want to do that because did Diablo officially announce, by the way? Let's see, Diablo for solo self-found. I think someone said they said something about this. Oh yeah, solo self-found is Diablo 4 is officially confirmed. Upcoming feature that restricts players to use only gear they find, removing trading and grouping to ensure a pure solo experience. Currently, the mode is in development with no set release date, although it is planned. So it's going to come out next season, we hope. I'm going to be so sad if oh wait, this is like
there's this feature in other games. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called solo self-found. It's something that we've been
I've heard of it
a lot,
yeah.
And what we might do with something like that. So we are actively talking about it. We are looking into doing it. It's not going to happen in 11. But
wait, what is 11? Is that the most recent season? It's a video from November 2025. No! Oh my god. He's talking about season 11. Yeah, that was like multiple seasons ago. Right, it was 2 seasons ago before this came out. Oh, dude, I'm serious. I'm going to be legit depressed if the next season comes out and there's not a solo self-found mode, actually. Because I don't know. I don't want I want to put in all the time on my own. No streamer bennies, and I do not want to fight some RMT demons on the leaderboard. I want to fucking just purely grind it out. And there's basically no way to do that without Soul Self-Found, so. Oh, man. Is there no new information on that? Diablo 4 Soul Self-Found Lords of Hatred. Maybe there's like a new interview or something. Soul Self-Found mode is confirmed for Diablo 4, aka again. While Soul Self-Found is not in the base expansion, it's planned for a later update to allow players to compete on leaderboards without trading or partying. Key details regarding this. It's scheduled to arrive after this. Soul Self-Found, any news on it? Diablo 4 is in its best state ever. Yeah, Diablo 4 fucking owns crazy. February 16, 2026. Soul Self-Found is coming to Diablo 4, just not an expansion launch. This is now the second time Blizzard has publicly acknowledged the feature after earlier developer interviews. Wait, when? During a recent Discord Q&A known as the Sanctuary Sit-Down. So this was on February 13th. Okay, so this is like 3 months ago. 2 months before the season. So pretty recent. Skill tree. No. Oh, here we go. Other highlights that the devs related to the topic of upcoming quality of life. Soul Self-Found mode is planned, but not. I need to hear this.
I hear you. That's good.
I hear you.
There it is.
I hear you.
80.
I hear all of you.
1,000 people.
Hello.
87,000 people.
87,000 people were watching a Zoom call? Holy shit, that's sick. Okay, Bear Companions with big reveal. Someone give me some time stamps. Give me some stamps. Someone said 1315. Bro, I know you made that up, but I'm doing it.
Like everything.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to just call it out. Kip Duran was asking.
You made it up. Damn it. Okay. So we just have to go with, they plan on doing it, and they mentioned it a couple months ago. They're planning on doing it. Oh, dude, please do it for the new season. Please. All right, PoE thing. Where's the PoE thing? Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2. I'm sure. Return of the Ancients official trailer. Nah, give me the, like... It's that one? Wait, that one includes the... Oh, it's literally the 4-month... So this isn't just, like, lore?
Those in darkness.
It's that one or the 1-hour video. Okay, but they are going to talk about things they're actually... Like, this isn't just like a cinematic, basically.
Once lay dormant. Now return. We who came before rise again.
All right.
Behold, the first edict.
No way. New endgame quest, The Origins of Divinity. So just to give you an idea, so you might need to explain some of this stuff to me, but I basically started the endgame in the second season of PoE 2, but I didn't like fully do the endgame. I basically just like got there and then I was done. 30 new endgame areas, okay. What does that mean? Like 30 new different branching, you know, there's like the map thing you do. The TLDRs are structuring the endgame so that you get taught how it all works via quests. Okay. Maps, yeah. New Arbiter Pinnacle boss. Goat. New endgame quest, Rite of the Nameless. Ritual reworked. See, I'm like looking at that, and I'm sure you're like a PoE 2 player, and you're like, that. Oh my god. I was like, it means nothing to me. Ooh. Yes. A tree that is confusing to me.
We become one. You are completely alone.
You can now import guides entirely along with skill tree nodes to take. That is sick for sure. Kalgurin.
I remain loyal to the king.
Explore the ocean.
Hunt like it's your last.
Continue the search. See what you can find.
Now see how your story ends.
Dude, I'm not even like excited about this. Dude, honestly, I was like really into PoE 2 like the first couple seasons, and I bet it's fine. I know it has like the stigma of all the like actual PoE players just prefer the first game, which by the way like totally makes sense. I think ARPGs take a long time to like get good, and people are going to prefer, like I still prefer D3 for like the first couple years of D4, for example. I think that's like pretty normal. But I think like D4 is so good now that I think I'm probably going to get my ARPG fix from probably just D4 and Fellowship.
To face us is to face oblivion.
You know, this is a super random side note, but I wish I could sound like this guy.
Is to face oblivion.
Like, I know his normal ass speaking voice isn't like that, but I feel like voice actors that do some cool ass shit like that, like, that's fucking sick, bro. Try it? No. No. No, 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 no. No. Gamers have such an extreme rejection sensitivity when their devs of their favorite game make something slightly different, they go catatonic. I don't think it's that. At least, I mean, I'm sure there's some of that. I know what you're talking about. But, like, I don't think that's actually it with PoE 1 and 2. I think there's, like, two very distinctly different game styles. They clearly slowed down the game. I don't think everyone that doesn't like PoE 2 is, like, just throwing a fit. You know, like I feel like they're going to continue making content for PoE 1 and they kind of just prefer that game. I mean, you could look at D4 and D3 like the exact same way. Like I felt that way. I was like, dude, I'd rather just be playing a D3 season right now. Did you try No Rest for the Wicked? No. I'm gonna message. I kind of want to do. Yeah, I'm gonna go see Sheep Detectives tonight. It sounds so good. It's a movie, bro. It's so dumb. Like, basically the premise of the movie is there's a bunch of sheep and they have like someone who's a shepherd, right? Someone who's like leading the flock of sheep, and then like he's killed, and then the sheep have to figure out who did it. It's just dumb as shit, but like it sounds awesome. Like real sheep or AI? No, it's like an animated movie. And apparently it got like decent reviews. Let's see. Sheep Detectives. It is like a 7 out of 7 or 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. What's the Rotten Tomatoes? Rotten Tomatoes, okay, 93%. That's probably insane. Do you still feel that way about D4 versus D3? Not after this expansion. This expansion made D4 so much fucking better for an endgame player. I think this expansion crossed the bridge of like a D4 season is now more exciting than what a D3 season was. This season made D4 so good. As a new D4 player, what is the end game? End game is like, I guess for most players would be like once you finish the campaign and then you're just trying to make your guy fucking huge. Yeah. What else is going on in WoW? I know it's apparently this is like a really good Mythic Plus season, right? Seeing a lot of anecdotes from people saying like this is the most fun they've had spamming Mythic Plus for a while. It's piss easy. Well, I mean, I didn't think that was going to matter too much. Like obviously doing your weekly farm keys for loot is like a lot easier. But I think what I'm hearing is a lot more people are pushing higher keys because they actually gave you an incentive to do that. But that shouldn't really make it alone like a lot better, right? Because if you're making people farm higher keys, and even if the season is easy, people are still going to they're going to hit a point where it's hard at some point, right? Oh, Fired Up said, how long is playtest? I actually don't know, but gearing is like main spawn. Max, I hear everyone saying that D4 is better now. What does that mean? What? It means that it's... I don't really know how to answer that. I thought about it, and then I was just going to repeat what you said, and then... It couldn't have gotten worse? Yeah, it could have. It was worse... The game has been getting better incrementally over time. There's definitely been a lot of changes that didn't happen this expansion that made the game a lot better since it was at launch, right? But this season was the single biggest of that all at once. So you guys actually agree with this when I said it earlier. Oh, we're barking. Dude, it's such a jump scare. Just a girlfriend coming home, and they just go absolutely crazy. Oh, we're barking again. This Wow I post is fire. Dude, I saw some people dunking on some YouTuber for... Did I read... Was that today? On Twitter, I saw some people like quote tweeting and dunking on some YouTuber for implying that it was like a classic better than retail video that was like done really poorly or something. Rage Darling. Who's that? Rage Darling. What happened with World of Warcraft? 40 minutes. That's too long. 13K views. Let's start it.
Whether you love or hate it, World of Warcraft has become a staple in the MMORPG universe. You're tasked with simple challenges such as kill 6 balls or collect 3 bear fur or retrieve some lost supplies, and yet the game feels like a warm hug after a long, hard day. Friendships were born, relationships blossomed, and over time the game aged. So did we. We grew and the game did too, and now we have 2 completely different versions of the game we used to know and love. Well, actually, Season of Discovery, Hardcore Classic, TBC Anniversary, Miss Pandaria Classic, Remix, and Retail. 7 different versions of the game. I'm not gonna...
Is there really, like, I mean, I know there is, but like, I feel like, I'm not a Classic player, but I feel like Classic, at least it kind of seems like most Classic players are kind of all doing one of these 5 things that are on this. Oh, not not Remix, but like the other 4, 5. Like, it feels like that most people that are in the Classic universe are like doing one. I guess I'm just following what the streamers are doing, but they're doing like one thing, you know? And it's like people are riding the hype, right? And then they move to another thing. I don't think like all 5 of these are like fucking are going crazy and like there's a million people doing them, right? I know there's like obviously some people that just like keep replaying vanilla but every version is kind of active, but there are some trends. Okay.
And Retail. 7 different versions of the game. I'm not gonna lie to you, we're gonna make this easy and just focus on the current anniversary expansion, which is the Burning Crusade, as it encompasses classic World of Warcraft as well as touching on the first expansion of the game. And it's captured a particularly notable content creator who, dare I say it, publicly stated that he hated World of Warcraft, but is now very much dedicated to the grind. Look, he's not addicted, he's just passionate about his work, okay? But why Classic? Why not the all-singing, all-dancing, multi-million-pound version of the game being pumped with content updates every single month, advertising in every single crevice of the internet, and in person, and on your billboards, and on your TV, and on your drinks, and on your food, your toilet paper, and your TV? Well, let's dive into it, shall we? To begin to answer this question, we need to break down what makes a good MMORPG. Typical pillars of this genre are...
I mean, I kind of get what this is going to be like, you know... It's just like, here's what makes a good MMO, and here's where Retail went wrong. And there's probably going to be some good and bad takes in there, but I don't know if I really care. Man, I will say, though, they must have... I feel like this video was made by Rage Darling, like, a little too late, you know? Like, I feel like there was a nice little window since Classic released, like a few-year window. Honestly, I think this could have even... If she released this, like, 2 years ago... Like Asmongold sees this and like this is still like it was in the era where like really if you just had any kind of title that even kind of looked like this, it was just gonna pop off because everyone was just looking to just hate on current WoW, you know? And like I feel like it doesn't hit as hard nowadays. Like I feel like this has like 200K views. I haven't even watched it. Maybe it's a bad video. I don't know. But like this has 200K views a couple years ago because like that crowd was still just really cared about fucking hating WoW, you know? I just feel like they missed it. Max, have you watched any more videos from the guy that made the 7 levels of Mythic Raiders? No, I mean, on my own, I did watch one other one. God, I forget his name. 7 levels of Mythic Raiding. I've been getting some updates. I think this guy is pumping out content, by the way. I've gotten like because I subscribed to him, so like I'm getting like the push note. I rang the bell. Actually, I didn't ring the bell, but I am. Did I ring the bell? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I rang the bell. I've been getting like things on my phone. I think he's just straight pumping content out, which is good. He's like really passionate about it. So I watched this on stream, and then there were a few others that I wanted to watch. I watched part of this. I didn't watch the whole video. I don't know why it says that, but I thought this like halfway through, I was like, this would be probably good to react to at some point. And then there was a couple other videos that were like probably really interesting for me. Like this made me a better raid leaders, like right there. I would fucking love watching that. This guy definitely is trying really hard, and I think he has some good concepts as to what should be interesting. And more importantly, he is like in a very relatable space as a content creator. It's a lot easier to someone. There's a lot more people that can relate to a, late cutting edge raid leader than like me, because it's just doing content that makes more sense to these people, And also, if you're talking about running a guild, you're talking about raid leading, there's different challenges in this guild that are probably much more relatable than anything I do, Okay, what would I actually want to react to from this guy? Let's see. Problem with Mythic Guides. I don't really care. Massive mistake our raid was making. That might be interesting. Any POVs, I don't really care, but I guess just to find out exactly how far they are, it looks like he's on, like, Illyria, I assume. We pulled Illyria on hard mode. Major learning curve of Mythic raiding. Which one do you guys want to start with? Well, let's go with this made me a better raid leader. Let's hit that. Let's hit this shit.
So I made a change to my raid leader.
Let's hit this shit.
And I think it made a massive difference and helped us get this kill on Vilgor and Ezrak. So I was going to kind of share that with you guys today. It's not anything crazy or special. You're probably going to be like, okay, whatever, after I tell you this. But basically, it made a huge difference. I think it's something that gets overlooked oftentimes. So,
okay.
How did I come up with this, or like where did this spawn? So I was watching back some videos for Paladins. It was on Liquid Watchtower, and you can kind of like hop around.
Dude, what? Liquid Watchtower. I mean, what the fuck? This guy's a subscriber.
And you can see the perspectives of the different players. Hashtag ad, I guess.
Dude.
But like it was pretty cool. Like you get to see the different perspectives of like the tanks and the people who are doing soaks.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it is. You know what? This guy gets it.
But something that I was noticing when I did bounce back to the Vilgor Ezrak fight because I wanted to watch Fired Up's point of view, and I was seeing him. I was like seeing his rotation, but I was hearing Max call the fight in the background, and I was thinking like, I'm pretty sure it took them more than one pull to kill this boss.
6 pulls. 6? 5? We definitely didn't dial anything in. I was a straight up bigwigs bot when we killed this.
But it kind of sounded like it was like the first pull that they had done. Not in the sense that like Max didn't know what was going on, but like the excitement in his voice for every mechanic that was coming up and how he was calling things kind of sounded like it was like he is.
This is actually, he's catching on to something. This is a very real thing.
Just for the first time seeing this mechanic come up, and he's like really excited for it. He's like, hey, we need to prepare for this and like this way. I was thinking like, that's really cool, because it's like, I'm pretty sure he's seen it before, right? But the way that he's calling it makes everyone else get kind of excited too. Like I was like, I don't think that I apply that enough. I think oftentimes when I'm calling things, I'm just kind of going through the motions, especially like later on in the night.
This is
like I let my energy dip.
So, okay. So if you're raid leading something and you're just hitting like the most lethargic, you're making the calls, but it like you can't really hear the passion or the interest in what you're saying, which is also going to happen when you're doing this 16 hours a day and you're doing it all the time. You're not going to get as good of a reaction from the players, and I mean literally how they're playing and how they're listening. If you are like actually excited and you're like really locked in, like, I actually kind of want to go back and listen to our kill to even hear what he's referring to specifically. And I actually think this is something I did better in, like, Shadowlands because I was newer to it And I kind of was just like more excited. Actually know what it was. Before like really add-ons started getting really insane, which like we kind of sucked at add-ons around like Shadowlands and before in BFA. And then we got good at them. And as we got better at them, there was less and less need for me to actually call important things. We would just like handle them via add-ons. And like that made me not as invested. And you can hear that in my voice for like a couple tiers. It's just fucking what it is, which is going to come to the next point. And I feel like I got that back a little bit this tier because there was less technology for a lot of stuff. And they just designed less mechanics that needed them, even though there was some tech. I'm going to kind of maybe rub against what he's actually saying here, and maybe other people are different from me, but I actually cannot fake it. Like he's saying, he just sounded like really excited and people like responded to that. That's true. And that is a very real thing, but you also cannot manufacture that. Like, dude, if I was like fake excited calling mechanics, my guild would, I mean, they've been with them for so long, like they would sniff that out instantly. And I also can't fake be happy. That's why I've had to trick myself to actually be like positive and happy, because you can't just like fake it. You can't just be tilted and then be fake happy. Like it's so obvious. And you can't also not speak, because if you don't speak, people think you're tilted because you're always talking, So that's something that's been really challenging. But I don't think you can actually like manufacture the like, let's just be excited while raid leading all the time. It's something you pull out when like you're genuinely excited, and it does make people play better. It is an interesting thing that he found out though, because that is a very fucking real thing. Because like if you're really locked in on calling something, people are going to react to that, and they're going to be more locked into.
Quite a bit. And I do think that impacts the group, and it probably is what causes us to fall into a slump oftentimes. So today when I was going into raid, what I said is I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on keeping my energy up, making sure that I'm just like looking at the fight, and I'm trying my hardest to call everything as best as I can, right?
I hope he links a video. I'm going to link a video, or I want to watch his video to hear how he's raid leading now.
And I find that when I've locked in like this before, I have done this before, but I normally only keep it up for like a pull or two, because again, it's hard to keep going.
Because you're a fucking human. It's literally, you can't fucking do that. Like if you're wiping, if you're running it down mid, and I mean, wiping is fine. If you wipe on hard bosses, then it's fine. But like if you're wiping bad style, like you're wiping because things are going wrong that should not be going wrong, it is impossible to just get to the next pull and just be Mr. Happy, excited guy. It's just not real. You're not a real person if you do that.
For like an entire night, right? But when I do this, I'm able to see the fight a lot more clearly. Like when you're watching this video, right, I can see my hunter standing over here with this circle, and I can see the circle over here and the circle over here. And I can visualize like the issues that we ran into in the past. So for example, something that we've adapted, if you watch my last video, I was kind of complaining about this specific scenario right here. And how it was difficult for us to deal with. Something that
this mechanic is genuinely hard. The intermission, where you have the circle, like there's definitely a good strat for this that we do not do. And it's like everyone tries to break their shit at the same time as the 3 circles, and it just kills someone like 1 in 5 pulls. It's just the way it is.
We've adapted since is we've put the soak in the middle, but now we're waiting for the circles to pop before we like run away. So
Yeah.
That's how I turn my camera immediately when these circles pop, rather than like popping it early. So right when these circles pop out, I turn and I blink. And it's like by waiting that extra second for those circles to disappear, the whole fight becomes significantly easier. And that was how we learned how to solve this. In the last video, I talked about it, and I was like, I don't feel like there's a clear solution for these circles. And we came up with 2 solutions, and they both worked phenomenally.
I love that. I love that people are cooking past a progression kill, because I don't think we did this on our kill at all. And it's definitely the better choice to make. And then also, doesn't it just make you feel alive, dude, when there's a mechanic that's owning you and you like just come up with something that isn't in a kill video that makes it easier?
Like we just crushed it tonight. So I'm pretty happy with how we progged it. Didn't take an insane amount of pulls, but I'm pretty happy with how this fight went, because it's one of those boss fights where it's like, once you get to the end and you got everyone alive, it's like, we get this. Like, we did like 3 or 4 pulls in a row where it's like 2%. It's like, we've got this fight. And yeah, I was pretty happy with how we did. Like I said, I feel like I knocked it out of the park, and I'm really looking to continue this and keep it up throughout the rest of the tier. Now, this is a fight that I'm actually...
Okay, but you also can't. Maybe it's easier in like a 3-hour raid night, to just show up and be fucking locked in and excited the whole time. But like for me, maybe it's me, but I can never pretend to be something that I'm not. I could never pretend to be excited when I'm not. I could never just be happy all the time because that's just not real. And I couldn't just, even though you do get a performance benefit, I just don't think it's something you have to genuinely feel. And I think even while we were doing this boss, I need to listen to how I sounded on this boss because, like, I kind of remember being like overcalling everything because there was like some different lineups and stuff. And even though we had seen it, we had not seen it clean. And it was also the pull before lunch. And I think there's like some extra, not excitement for lunch, but like getting the kill before lunch would be pretty cool, you know? I also wonder if the guild's play and how locked in we are is relative to how excited or locked in that I sound, or if it's all the same thing. Like, basically, I'm going to get excited at the same time that everyone else in the guild is, and just my voice and what you can hear from my voice is actually just a reflection of how all of us feel anyway. You know, it could be that too, but
pretty happy with it. I actually really liked this. This is probably the first fight this tier where I was like, yeah, that was a cool mythic fight. And part of the reason for that is how the mechanics overlap. Something that I love in mythic fights is like the way that the difficulty arises is that like none of the individual mechanics are that difficult, but the way that they overlap with each other is. So for example, something that's really fun in this fight is the way that the overlaps happen, it changes throughout the fight. So for example, we had the orbs right there into the tether afterwards. And then we get the orbs right here in the intermission, which doesn't happen in Heroic. You don't have anything happening in the intermission, but we do the orb spreads right here. And then the manifestation has its shadow marks going out as well. Okay. So these circles are going out, which is a Heroic mechanic. Then the orbs come out, which is a mythic mechanic, right? So right here, okay, cool. And we have to get the circles out to make sure that we don't explode each other, but we also have to stay kind of stacked for the orbs. So then all the orbs get gripped in here. And then like afterwards we get a gloom soak, but the gloom also comes out at the same time as a dread breath. So this gloom soak during the intermission needs to be aimed somewhere, but you need to be careful because the people soaking it could also get assigned the dread breath, so they might have to run out. So
I don't know if that's ever happened before.
It's like in this case, we assigned an extra person to the gloom soak to kind of deal with that situation, and we have to run out.
Can that? I'm sure it can happen, but like, I mean, away Blizzard. I just don't remember this ever happening, and I think maybe y'all hear that sneeze. The only thing I can think of is maybe the boss always targets someone with the gloom debuff. Does that make sense? Like if just a general thing when it picks a target is it cannot pick people without the gloom debuff. And if that's the case, it can never pick someone who needs to actively soak. That would be a smart way to design a mechanic to not have like a really annoying overlap. But I don't know if that's actually how
so it's like in this case we assigned an extra person to the gloom soak to kind of deal with that situation in which that overlap can maybe be negative, right? And then right afterwards it's like the same thing. He does another gloom soak, and then there's another breath that comes right afterwards, and it's like the people who are soaking this gloom once again could get the breath, so they need to be prepared.
Dude, I'm just thinking about it. I don't think I have done this boss a lot. I don't think I've ever seen someone like get picked with the breath, and like I don't see an animation here, but also part of it is that the debuff comes before the animation, so like they could maybe deal with it in
time.
But
I was thinking like maybe we can adapt to this by like moving off to the side, but like the dragons are dead at this point, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, different overlaps like that, I think they affect the fight in different ways, and I think it's really cool. So I was pretty happy with Vilgo Resurrect. This is probably my favorite fight so far.
I want to listen to him raid lead this boss. I know I said I wasn't going to look at any POVs, but now I'm interested. Oh, game sounds.
5, 4, 3, 2,
breath, and then
1.
gloom soak from group 1.
I need someone to soak my gloom.
Yep.
I think you have time.
Yeah, I do. I got it.
Okay.
PR, maybe back up a bit.
Orbs, you can stand around PR.
Spread.
This is all. This part doesn't sound anything
1.
out of the ordinary, but also this is like a part of the fight they've probably done a million times. So I'll wait till the first intermission. Let's actually skip to that.
Almost missed that.
5.
I'm sure he's going to remind them about not moving out early.
And 1, And
1.
breath goes to square. Get circles out. Beam straight through the middle here in 1 second.
5.
Wait, they beam the
4,
whole raid?
3, 2,
Is that a thing?
1.
Don't panic here on the pull.
Break.
Wait for circles and break.
Yeah, that's a good call. Okay, let's... Oh, and air horn. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead to like the second intermission.
Into pull. Orbs into pull.
Oh, okay. Actually, I don't want to listen to the
whole.
whole thing, but there's like a couple minutes in between the first and second intermission where there's like 3 distinct ad lineups that are different. It's either like you break tethers into ads, you do ads and then break your tether after, and then there's one where they're separate, but there's a gloom. And I feel like that is one of the few things like a raid leader really, really helps with, is whenever you're getting a fight that looks the same and the same mechanics are happening, but there's different lineups, where like specifically calling out that a certain thing is going to happen like really helps.
Kill your friends here.
Spread. Next.
Grip in 3, 2, 1. Grip. And then break pull.
Break.
You ready? We're going to intermission spots. Remember, spread for intermission. You get big circle, you get out. Finish off those ads, Rich.
Oh, we don't do that.
Intermission spread spots, those PR.
Spread.
Guess that makes sense.
We're stop popping second potion, get those circles out. Big defensive, get that circle out.
I feel like getting the
And then
circle out is
gloom soak
really
right now, this is
hectic.
group
Do we have
one.
enough room to kind of just spread even with the big circle? Maybe that's like too much personal responsibility, and like in our guild it's fine, but like a lot of people would just like double stack here and die.
Big defensive, get that
Kind of makes
circle out.
sense.
And then gloom soak right now, this is group
They
one.
have designated spots. Yeah, it
5,
sounds like it. We never had
4,
designated spots.
3.
Bloom's coming
2,
like through the raid.
1.
Look out.
Don't
We
explode.
just kind of YOLO'd it.
And breath.
What number is this?
1.
Okay, thank you.
Kill this ad.
Looks good.
Get the circles out. Nothing happens at the start here. We just got to get this ad down, okay?
I feel like staying outside the yellow circle does nothing.
First
Well, okay,
spots.
so how this yellow circle works is like the way raid damage works in this fight is it just puts out random stacks that just makes you take damage over time, right? And then when the intermission happens, it removes those stacks, so it like kind of resets the raid damage in between each phase. But there is something you can do. Like, okay, so how it works is every person that removes their stacks here also buffs up this ad. It actually gives it HP. So what you could do is if you felt like your rogue or maybe your 2 tanks or someone was never going to die, you could actually just never have them go in the circle. And then you would actually give the mob significantly less HP and you could just like kill it a lot faster. That was something we messed around with, and we never felt like it was actually going to be worth doing that. But you can cook some shit like that.
Remember, spread for intermission. You get big circle, you get out. Finish off those ads, Rich. Intermission spread spots, those PR.
Spread.
We're stop popping second potion, get those circles out. Big defensive, get that circle out. And then gloom soak right now.
No, like even just a moment like that though, like to get that circle out. And what a lot of raid leaders will do is they'll like maybe say that, in a lot of cases not. And then they'll just go back to playing their character. And if it stays in the raid, it happens. But him saying like, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. That makes everyone like really like look around them. There's some mechanics where maybe that would actually kill you because like it would just make you not focus on what you need to focus on. But I think in a boss like this, it does actually make you focus more.
5,
Good grip.
4, 3.
Bloom's coming
2,
like through the raid.
1.
Look out.
Don't explode. And breath.
What number is this?
1.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, good comms.
Kill this ad.
Looks good.
All right, we're going to skip ahead. Any nerd screams?
I'm counting early.
Break.
I mean, I feel like once you're at this point in the fight, it's just like fucking GG, you know? Like, I feel like after the second intermission, the boss just doesn't
now?
do anything.
Break.
All the lineups are like really easy.
Just pop every defensive so you live. But these dragons are fucking dead, dude.
Yeah, the early we're winning call. It's a good aura farm moment, but it can give you absolutely negative, unobtainable, like your aura is gone forever. If you ever rip that as a raid leader and then you wipe, oh man, that is like, bro, no one will ever trust you ever again, you know? Best case scenario is your guild really likes you and they'll just make fun of you forever for doing that. But like, bro, it's actually negative aura.
Bloom Soak, group 1.
Let's go.
YOLO, kill yourselves?
No,
Oh,
wait, this
ooh,
one's at
the-
1%.
Ooh,
Focus up.
Ooh, the kill yourself.
That's
call.
scary.
Two
final stairs?
Hell
Holy
Okay,
shit.
even if
Rewarded.
you're rolling on those, still bonus roll if you're looking for stare.
Stare.
I got legs.
Oh yeah, good call. You bonus roll. If you're thinking about the guild, everyone slams the bonus roll, and then you give the 2 to the people who maybe didn't get it. But like the greedy person is like, I wonder if I'll get this stare on my own, and then I can bonus roll something else. You gotta respect a greeter. All right, I'm out of here. I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow, but I might. I am definitely eyeing like a solo self-found D4 run it back this season. But I might have to do it on hardcore, so it's actually like starting a fresh season, you know, because like on softcore, my characters, I already have Infinite Paragon and like all the aspects and stuff, so might be the move. And also hardcore kind of sucks, so I don't know. We'll see. I could just buy another account. Can anyone like actually, did anyone start playing D4 randomly this season? Did you have to do any really annoying? Oh, I'd have to do the campaign again, right? No way. Yeah, there's actually 0 shot. I'm doing that again. So, fuck. I would need to. Yeah, no. Wait, would I have to do the campaign on hardcore? If you completed it on softcore, you can skip to endgame on hardcore. Okay, holy shit, thank God. That would be... Yeah, a movie is one way to put it. I would also just never... All right, and then I have to figure out this... fellowship thing. I'm actually really looking forward to that. Okay.